Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today is Melissa's birthday, and I'm going to cook up some ribeyes for her, baked potato and a veggie. I just got back from work a little bit ago here. I was working south of the Twin Cities. When I left work it was 99 degrees. When I pulled in the driveway here it said 95. It's hard to believe, what was it? 8 days ago that we had the hard freeze that killed off a bunch of the garden plants. Welcome to Minnesota. When I took the cover off the grill, the thermometer already said 130 degrees. Almost didn't need to add charcoal. I don't know if you guys have seen the price of beef lately, but these things were $18 a piece. I'm like, holy crap. I can't even get good old cheap chuck roast anymore like I brought up to the tent for under $20 to $22. I think it's time we raise our own cattle. There's the birthday girl's cake.
Joe's fixing to sing to me.
Yeah, she's trying to tell me that I got the numbers backwards.
You do.
I just came out here and wanted to take a look at the strawberry plants. I mean, it was hot today, but I just watered them 2 days ago. So, and it even said in the directions to water them, but don't overwater them. Give them a couple of days for sure between. We do have possible rain coming tonight, but in the next 3 days there'll probably be a considerable amount of rain because that almost hurricane that was down in Louisiana is pushing moisture up here, so we should get dumped on, I think, tomorrow night, hopefully. Joni, get out of the strawberries, please. Most of them seem to be doing pretty well. I've got a couple over here of this variety that aren't. There's a couple, I mean, out of 100 and what did I plant, 145 of them? There's a couple here that, like this one doesn't look very good, but who knows? It'll probably still be fine. I can't expect all 145 of them to make it, but they're doing pretty good. I want to check out these Zestar apples that were just about blooming, I don't know, yesterday or the day before. Well, this here is the cherry tree, and it has a couple of flowers that popped open. This one does not need a pollinator, so I don't know if we'll get anything the first year, but flowers are a good sign. This pear tree is really leafing out nice. I was just out there looking at those fruit trees, and I heard kind of a ruckus in the chicken coop, just could hear them clunking around in there. And then Melissa was out there with me, and Joni went running over to the chicken coop because they did it again. So I come over, and I don't know if you guys, if you have raised chickens, you know they can be brutal to one another. I mean, horrid. Anyway, they're trying to peck one of them to death. Got a hole in top of her head, and she's bleeding. So we rescued her, and now she's inside in a kennel, and we're going to have to get some blue coat and put on her head because that covers up the wound, and then you can actually put them back into the chicken coop and the chickens won't bug them. But we will leave her inside in the kennel for at least a week now. But I did collect 14 eggs. All 3 ducks laid an egg. And it must have been all the chickens because, oh, there's one that looks really weird though. And this isn't the first time this has happened, but it's definitely the weirdest looking one that whoever it is has laid. Don't know how well you can see that, but with the shadow too, but look at that, huh? Looks like it's got veins growing outside of it. We definitely have the portable air conditioner going today. And there's the poor chicken that got all beat up. I was just going to put it outside in the other part of the chicken coop, but Melissa said it had to come in here so the bugs couldn't get it. Look at the top of her head. Can you see that? They're just brutal to one another. But she's drinking and eating food, so I think she's going to be just fine. Chunky wants to eat it. Okay everyone, it's almost 10 o'clock. I edited a couple of videos tonight. It's time for bed. They talked about rain tonight, but I don't see a cloud in the sky. Good morning everybody. It's about 5 minutes after 7 right now. I've been out here for about a half hour weeding these onions. Planting onions like this, it's a good way to get a lot of onions in a small space, but you can't get any type of a hoe or anything in between them to weed them, so you have to do it by hand. When my dad was a kid, he would spend a bunch of his summers at his grandma's house helping out on their farm. And he says that they had a really big vegetable garden, or grandma did. And he would have to go out and hand pick the weeds and then lay them back down in the garden. She said it would help from other weeds from coming up, and then they would break down and feed the soil, which is true. I have enough room in here to get my hoe, but you can see I've got asparagus coming up, and I don't want to cut something off, you know, because there should be there should be 2 more in here that haven't come up yet. Well, that's good enough for now. Well, this morning I want to spend a little bit of time kind of getting some of this lumber that I brought in, this refurbished deck boards and stuff, over to the side. I mean, I've got all this area for storage back here, and it's not usable because I was just throwing stuff in. And I have a load of lumber right now on the snowmobile trailer that I need to get in here, but I don't want to just throw it on top of everything else. This workshop is like a natural air conditioner with all the cement and everything. It's you can see 71 outside and only 59 in here. That's looking better already. So I've got cedar in this first stack and then shorter cedar on the second stack. That was from the same deck. Third stack there is all green treated. And this one here was that teak wood or whatever it's called. It's real heavy, real hard. I still have a small stack of some really nice cedar right there. I got some 2x2s and some 6x6s. Come here, little guy. Get you outside. Well, it's a couple minutes before 12. I think I'm going to run in and have some lunch. At least it's getting cleaned up in here. This is just, you couldn't even walk through it. And then that part that stuck out the table has always been here since we bought the place. And that part stuck out far enough so you could never really get around this and that if there was any lumber here. So eventually this will get brought out into the workshop itself and it'll be a nice table for staining or painting or anything. And I want it to go over where I have to cut the door in that wall. That, anyway, if you watch the videos, you know the area that I'm talking about. This is the stuff on the trailer that I'm talking about. Most of it's 2x6 cedar. I've got some 2x4 cedar. Some green treated over here. I'd like to get that inside because we have a lot of rain coming tonight and I don't want this to warp. I mowed some more back here and then along the disc over here, and then Melissa got home from work, so I was just in there for a little while, and now we have meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn cooking for supper. Well, I think that's good enough in here for today. It's a little after 7:30 at night right now. I was going to take that tin and toss that, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and use it. You can see up here where it's been torn down. I don't care if it matches because I'll never find that exact same kind anyway. But I'm still debating if I want to blow insulation above here before winter, or if I just want to do it in here. I'm just not sure yet. I know where I can get 4-inch styrofoam panels for not a bad price. I could put them up there too. There's already 2-inch, but I could then put 4-inch on top. So I'm still debating. The nice thing about foam, you don't have to worry about mice. So, but with the cats, I have not seen a mouse for a year. So might not be a problem. I'll be tearing off those shelves, if you want to call them that. Use those for firewood, and then eventually definitely want to put a window in where there used to be a window. Melissa came out and watered all the plants again tonight now. And I have one more thing I want to do before I go in, and I want to mow between, like where the raspberry plants and strawberry plants are planted, with the push mower, because that hasn't been done yet. And then I want to get that in the garage and get the rider in the garage, because they're still saying there's going to be some rain coming. Nothing like what they were saying before. There's flood watches south of here, but once again it's going to kind of part to the northwest and like the northeast and kind of miss where we are. I need to get the barbecue covered up also. If it doesn't rain tonight, I'll have to water all this again tomorrow. I was going to bring the tiller in, but we just saw, I've been looking for a while now, and Melissa found it today up in Duluth, so that's only about 20-minute drive or so. Rhubarb plants, big ones, they want 20 bucks a piece for them, and I have one more spot I can do a row here, till it, and I'd like to get, I don't know, maybe 10 plants? We'll see. Melissa made an awesome rhubarb crisp this weekend. And I've always wanted to grow good rhubarb, and I've always had a hard time, and here it has full sun, so I'm thinking it would do pretty good. Normally I would stop this video right now, but I'm going to give it one more day, because then I'm going to stay here one more day, and then the following day I'm going to go down to work, and then I'm going to be at the hobby farmhouse for a night and work on that garden, and then I'll come back up here the following day. The 911 chicken is still in there. Her eye was still swelled shut from the wound on top of her head, but she's been eating food good, drinking water. She laid an egg today, and she's been walking around and squawking a little bit when the dogs come in. All right, everybody, it's 10:25, just about time for bed, and we're getting a little bit of rain. Well, it's 12 o'clock straight up right now. It was just a nasty morning. Got some rain overnight, and then now the sun is just starting to peek through now and then, but it's still a little bit misty when that wind is blowing. So I'm heading into Duluth right now. going to stop at the store and see if they have another 4 rolls of that fencing that I put around the fruit trees, because I need to fence I'm hoping this coming weekend I can get the garden itself fenced. The next 2 days I'm not going to be up here. Tomorrow morning I'm going to leave down for work. I'm going to stay at the hobby farmhouse, and then I'll come back up here the following night. I'm also supposed to meet some people. They said anytime after 1 o'clock. And I'm going to buy some rhubarb plants, and then I'll have to till another row and get those planted out by the strawberries. Well, I went to the store, as you saw, and then I went to get the rhubarb plants, and man, are they so nice. They're huge, and I got 5, and actually she threw in some smaller ones, so I probably got 8. She said they're big enough to cut into 2 or 3 if I want to. I really got a good deal. And then she gave me some blackberry plants and some horseradish, so real nice lady. They had fruit trees, all kind of stuff there. It was pretty neat. Since the winds are still gusting up way over 30 miles an hour, it's just unbelievable. I'm going to show you, I bought 5 of these, but she gave me some more little ones and stuff, but I want to show you what. Look at the size of that thing. Now that's a rhubarb plant there. So I'm going to go out and get this planted. Like always, the wind usually dies down at night and we can go take a better look at it, but that's a nice rhubarb plant. Now this was supposed to be 1 plant, but then there were some smaller ones next to it, so she actually gave me 4 for the price of 1. I do not think that big fat one right there would grow. And then she had some of them. This lady said she was just about 60 or 60 years old, and this is her grandma's horseradish. So she gave me a chunk of that also. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I got these all planted, everything's watered in. In a couple days now I'm going to cut all of the stalks off of these so they can just grow new. But it was blowing so hard tonight, it was making me mad. It was blowing so hard. But everything's in. We got the rhubarb plants. I did get, I think it was 4 blackberry plants from her. So I planted them in a couple of spots where the raspberries did not make it. And then of course we got the horseradish, which I put here on the end. Rhubarb is pretty hard to kill off, so hopefully most of these will make it. Here's the 200 feet of fencing for the hay bale, straw bale garden. I will see you guys on the next video.